All right, so let's go. Should we go around the horn? Like do a takeaways?
Let's do it. Geoffrey, you start.
Sure. Obviously, it was a very good night for Democrats. I think, just to sort of put a sort of tie a loose end here, the Virginia House of Delegates, it looks like the final count there is probably going to be 64-36.
Nobody had 64.
51-49 going in.
Yes, so Democrats will have gained 13 seats. And
wow. And again,
that's not quite three-thirds majority, but good Lord.
Right. There's overreading and underreading. But there is absolutely a pattern between gains in the Virginia Assembly the year before a midterm.
Yes.
It has been pretty consistent.
And I think I haven't dug into all the numbers yet about exactly which ones flipped and whatnot, but I know that Kamala Harris carried 59 of the 100 seats, which means Democrats did win 5 seats that Trump carried. Now, they may have been by slim margins, but nonetheless, It speaks to a swing, and a swing, that put some light red turf in play for Democrats, which, if we're thinking about, obviously, going forward, 2026 midterms, thinking about elections, even the special election coming up in the Nashville area, like
Tennessee, yeah.
That's if you see some big swings, some races that shouldn't be competitive may be a lot closer, and some that are competitive or on the edge of competitive might be in more danger than you would have imagined. So, yeah.
I was going to do Virginia, but I will pivot. I wrote down a bunch of phrases that our guests said throughout the night. And towards the end, Reed Wilson said something that I don't want people to overlook. And Chuck, you kind of highlighted it in the moment, and I wrote it down. Because I think look, Mamdani was born in Uganda. His parents are in America. I mean, Mamdani's not going to be the president. But you said, Reed said, the politics of optimism.
Yeah,
I think there's real power there, because Trump is not the politics of optimism, right? Trump is everything is terrible. The only way we could even possibly survive this hellhole of humanity is by electing me, and I'll fix everything. Right. But I keep going back to the politics. Like, Trump breaks all rules, right? It used to be you had to offer a positive vision, but I wonder in 2028 if on the Democratic side, because Vance, I think, will be Vance and Rubio, whatever, we can debate that. But on the Democratic side, I wonder about that politics of optimism. I think there's real
it'll have been
power.
20 years since Barack Obama brought us hope and change.
That's right.
So,
and remember the best days of Kamala Harris's campaign when she was talking about joy. You know what I mean? Like, there is power in that. Now it has to be around a set of policy ideas. The candidate has to authentically believe it. But that phrase, politics of optimism, is like rings in my ears.
Well, and you can't, there's the theory of presidential elections that says, we always go for the opposite of what we had.
Yeah.
Right. We always look for something that the incumbent didn't have. And he is a super pessimist, right? An overly pessimistic guy. And he is a divider, meaning he sees division as helpful to him. When I say divider, meaning he uses division for, to enact policy, to do all this.
Yeah, for political gain. Yeah.
And if you look at I always look at it this way. If you look at, frankly, Biden to me is an outlier in all this, right? We've been through this one term.
I think it has to be an asterisk because of COVID too.
Right. But if you look at Obama, Clinton, and even Jimmy Carter, they all came, none of them were the front runners at this moment in time, 3 years in advance of the nomination, right, of the presidential. And they all were able to break through because they seemed to, while everybody around them was trying to be negative, they refused to do so.
Yeah.
In different ways, one way or the other. Bill Clinton famously, as everybody's coming after him with Jennifer Flowers, they want to make this about me. I'm here to make this about you.
Yep.
And
I like that. Bill Clinton. That was pretty good.
When it's late at night and you're
bring out the Clinton impersonation.
Voice is a little croaky. There you go. And then obviously we had hope and change with Obama. So I think there's something to be said for that. That optimism is still matters. But look, I mean, why are we watching these elections out? It's really about the midterms. We're not going to learn anything about 2028 in this one, but we are learning a lot now about the political environment going into 2026. Having good life insurance is incredibly important. I know from personal experience. I was 16 when my father passed away. We didn't have any money. He didn't leave us in the best shape. My mother, single mother now, widow, myself, 16, trying to figure out how am I going to pay for college. And lo and behold, my dad had one life insurance policy that we found. It wasn't a lot, but it was important at the time. And it's why I was able to go to college. Little did he know how important that would be in that moment. Well, guess what? That's why I am here to tell you about Ethos Life. They can provide you with peace of mind knowing your family is protected, even if the worst comes to pass. Ethos is an online platform that makes getting life insurance fast and easy, all designed to protect your family's future in minutes, not months. There's no complicated process, and it's 100% online. There's no medical exam required. You just answer a few health questions online. You can get a quote in as little as 10 minutes, and you can get same-day coverage without ever leaving your home. You can get up to $3 million in coverage, and some policies start as low as $2 a day. That would be billed monthly. As of March 2025, Business Insider named Ethos the #1 no medical exam instant life insurance provider. So protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/Chuck. So again, that's ethos.com/Chuck. Application times may vary, and the rates themselves may vary as well. But trust me, life insurance is something you should really think about, especially if you've got a growing family. Virginia always is sort of the first round, right? And the fact is, every tea leaf that Virginia delivered is screaming big year for the Democrats in 2026. Now, what are the limitations to that? Well, limitation one is this redistricting fight, right? Yep. The big thing that I am surprised about tonight, the reason I was hesitant to assume a big Democratic night is that turd in the punch bowl, which is the unfavorable rating of the Democratic Party, right? It has been consistent in the NBC News poll that we saw come out earlier this week. The Democrats had a higher unfavorable rating than the Republicans. In fact,
the Decision Desk HQ average, it's been like -15 net for Dems, about -9, 8, 9 for Republicans. Right. Yeah.
Now, here's something else that I'm intrigued about, and this is to me something to start to look for. I have a friend of mine who's sort of a super never Trumper from the right, and he wants to say this is the beginning of the lame duck of President Trump's lame duck presidency. I'm not ready to declare that. However, in that same NBC poll, guys, essentially the negative rating for the Democratic Party was the same as the negative rating for Trump. Trump is also more unpopular than the Republican Party.
Yes.
You see what you wonder here. Does a performance like tonight, where it's clear that Trump makes the weather right now in politics. Yep. He is America's political weatherman.
Rain and shine.
Right. He's created so it's his weather we live in. It's his political environment. And this was a great environment if you were on Team Blue. And this was a terrible environment if you were on Team Red. Do we start to see Republicans feel like they need to worry about themselves more than Trump?
Which we would have seen
in a normal
life.
Right.
He's a lame duck on day one. Like the fact that he's maintained it this long, is this a time when the split?
Honestly, I think that's part of why he keeps saying 2028 is just to like try to make.
He's been trying to stave it off.
He's trying to fight it off. Yeah.
You know, if this is followed up with a special election loss in Tennessee and all, this is going to start to chip away at his ability to control the Republican Party, because we are going to start to get close to the whole to the point where Republicans might feel like, hey, it's every Republican for themselves. Donald Trump does not care about
water in the boat, and you're like,
I'm not saying we're there yet, but it's a night like tonight. That was a big,
elections matter. Yes,
100%.
Yes,
and you will start to see some of these swing state senators. It may change how the shutdown politics operates over the next few days. What happens with these Obamacare subsidies, right? Yeah. Like all of this is going to have an impact in the near term as well as. But boy, right now this is painting. I mean, this should become a huge moment for Jeffries and Schumer to be able to recruit more candidates to run.
I know. Look, do you
for the
want to
US
be on?
Senate.
And
we're
do we
kicking
start
ass.
to see some Republican House retirements that have been
That's
held
another
off
thing
for
you'll
now?
see too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, that's
You'll
right,
see
Geoffrey.
additional Republican House retirements, and suddenly maybe they'll find another candidate to run for in Kansas, and maybe they will start to fill out their ability to find
dance
some
card a little
Senate
bit more.
candidates.